9 addictions you must break to become your best self.
Let's dive on into it.
For training programs, meal plans, and coaching, make sure you check out Khpfitness and training.com.
What's going on, my fitness seekers all over the world? Khpfitness here, Kelvin's Health and Physical Fitness, here for another video. And man, I thought this was a very important video. As I touch on health and fitness, as I tell you before, I like to touch on more than just topics of how many reps can you put up? Because there's more to health than just lifting in the gym or using bands or calisthenics. There's more to it. In that hour of time that you're typically in the gym, or 2 hours if you're dragging, I see you out there, sandbaggers. Of that time frame that you're in the gym, you have the rest of the day and the time that you're not asleep, which is typically 6 to 8 hours. So that's 10 hours, 9 to 10 hours of the day. The rest of the time frame, you got 14 hours to get stuff done. And 100 things can come up. So I wanted to touch on this video about superior men, which I thought was a dope title for this TikTok, and go through the 9 things that you need to go ahead and do to become the best version of yourself, man, for a better outlook. And you may not be able to conquer everything at one time, but if you can work on a couple different things, that works. It's just like fasting. The word faster broken down comes down to fast food, alcohol, sweets, tobacco, entertainment, and restaurants. Shout out to a friend on that. And the more of those things you can cut out, the better your results are going to be. So with them breaking down these 9 topics, I want to go into them detailing on how it applies to me and how it can maybe apply to you. But before that, go ahead and hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Follow your boy. Hit that thanks if you like this video at the end. And let's get on into it.
9 addictions you must break to become your best self.
Let's go.
1. Comparison. Comparison leads to rushed goals, dissatisfaction with life, and a feeling of inadequacy. Comparison will suck the joy out of life if you let it. Try adding a simple gratitude practice to your morning-evening routine. 2. Comfort.
That's dope. That's so true. That's so true. People love to compare. I used to do this too. I would see my friend at the time, he was in the gym, he was doing this thing, and I was just starting out. And with me just starting out, man, you kind of get that enviousness, like, why aren't I there? But we often compare our day 1 to their day 1,000. At this point, he has been in the gym way longer than I have. He has been on the fitness journey longer. I was doing the 9 to 5 and trying to train clients, but he had basically some help with his family to get him a little bit further as I'm working on the back foot. You know, I'm just jumping into it, just scrounging every little bit of money I could. No extra funds, just credit cards and things like that, which I had to build up, man. So when I went down there, he was like, hey, man, because I joined him. I paid for a session just to see what he was doing and such. And he was like, thanks for showing the love. I came out and it was awesome to see it from the inside of things. But then when he's saying that I was doing it full time, he was like, man, that's awesome, man. He said most guys who's training, they are still trying to work on it. They're still working at it. And you finally are making your thing going. I was like, yeah, you know what? I never looked at it like that, man. And I thought that was pretty awesome. So definitely try not to compare yourself to other people. It's good to use that for some motivation, but don't envy people. It's the absolute worst thing you can do. Let's go on to the next one. Next one's comfort.
The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. You don't need to jump off the cliff, but you do need to push yourself a little closer to the edge. Use the 85% rule. Learning is optimized when we get things right about 85% of the time. Learn to accept failing as part of the journey and stop hoping for everything and every situation to be perfect. It won't, and it's stopping you from taking those risks and getting out of your comfort zone. 3. Quitting.
I like that. I definitely like that. We don't realize a lot of times when we do 85%, 85% is typically enough for a lot of people, because most people are doing 50-50 at best or less than that. 60-40 bad versus good. So if you can operate at 85%, if you can get yourself active 85%, if you can focus on your goals 85% of the time, then man, you are footholds ahead of everybody else when it comes down to it. You definitely want to do that. So be careful with comfort, because comfort is where dreams go to die, just like they said in the video. it will kill off everything you got going on when you get too comfortable that you're like, oh, I had a hard day. Oh, let me relax. I tell people this all the time. Do not work for someone for 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, or anything without doing something for yourself. Do not give up 8 hours of your day, 8 to 10, and do nothing for yourself out there, because that's how you stay giving them passive income. And you're shooting yourself exactly in the foot when it comes to that. Let's keep going. The next one is quitting. Danielle, my wife, man, I actually did that with her. I was like, every time that I would mess around and slack off, not get some videos done or take too much time, for every hour that I was slacking off, I was giving her $25. It wasn't too long before I wanted to keep my money. So it was a day where I slacked off for 3 hours playing the games and such. I gave her $75. That hit me like a ton of bricks. So it was not as easy to BS or quit or not get myself motivated, because I didn't want to give up no more money. So however you get to that is how you want to go ahead and do it, because money is definitely a motivator for most people. Excuse me, I'm sweating. I did a good workout before this. But money is a motivator for most people. Most people won't train, won't work out, but they will get their butt to work because they know it's money on it and they know you got to pay those bills. So at the end of the day, I definitely understand what he's saying when it comes down to this. So however you can get motivated is how you want to do it, because you don't want to be that quitter. Next one's distractions. Let's go.
4. Distraction. Do you distract yourself from real life? Do you hide from your responsibilities? Not including sleep. Is there ever a time when you're not watching, listening, or consuming some kind of information? Schedule 2 15-minute blocks each day to do absolutely nothing.
Wow.
No inputs, no distractions. Just you alone with your thoughts. 5.
Sheesh.
Your phone.
Holy moly. You know how hard that is? Number 4, distractions. You know how hard that is for most people to not be distracted, or to block off 2 15-minute time frames throughout the day where they do absolutely nothing without sleeping. Just standing there in a mirror. I used to do this. I would stand there when I was very confused on where I wanted to go. I would stand in the mirror for 15 minutes, blocking off that time. Not twice a day, but all it took was once for me. I blocked off that time, and sure enough, it made me think. It made me start popping ideas in my head. Sometimes you get so distracted with everything that's going on, but if you're slacking, you can block off 2 15-minute times, and watch how much that affects you. Watch how much your brain starts to work when you're doing this 15-minute block. It will change a lot, man. Trust me when I tell you that. It's crazy. This video is really popping it up for me, man. Number 5 is your phone.
You knew it was coming.
Ooh,
phone
yeah,
addiction is real and dangerous. Turn your phone off 1 hour before bed, and don't turn it back on for 1 hour after you wake up. Trust me, the digital world is not going to miss you, and your life will transform before your eyes by committing to this practice.
Sheesh. That's a big one there. We get so hopped in when it comes to likes, so hyped in when it comes to comments. We love to see 100 different things when we scroll. Oh, yeah, let's do this. Oh, that's funny. Oh, but what are you doing for yourself? I ask that again. What are you doing to further yourself when it comes to training and everything? What are you doing? Because if you are sitting there, I used to say this all the time when we watch these shows, and I would tell Danielle, she'd be like, oh, let's watch this show. And I'd be like, I got to edit these videos. And she'd be like, oh, you had to take some time. I said, listen, reason I'm going to take time on the weekend because I need that time to unwind. And you got to remember, that's very important. But what I would tell her is that I get tired of watching people making them richer and not making myself better watching them. That drove it home for me. And from that point on, I really learned how to do the same thing. Turn off my phone, get a good stretch routine. You sleep better too when that blue light's out your face. And then an hour, when I wake up, don't touch the phone at all. Stretch again, hydrate, get my first meal in before I let all the chaos back in, because social media is not going to miss you. 100% right in this video, man. This video is cooking. Let's go. 6. That's a good one. That's a really good one. People do wait for the perfect moment. And I used to do the same thing. They call it paralysis from analysis. It's an actual real thing where you analyze so much that you can't make a move. You analyze so much that you can't make a move, man. And when you get to the point where you analyzing so much that the moves can't be made, you will shoot yourself in the foot because the person ahead of you is flying while they build it. And if you can do that, you can get it off the ground at 70%, then you can build the rest of it. So don't wait for the perfect moment, because that will shoot you right in the foot 100 times versus at 70% where you could have been out there. Let's keep going. Multitasking is next.
Multitasking. Whether it be writing, reading, or even watching a movie, half focusing leads to half-assing. Commit your full focus to whatever you are doing, period. 8. Procrastination.
That's a fact right there. I used to be a big time multitasker. The only time I multitask now is if I'm listening to a podcast and I'm getting a workout in, or listening to a podcast or a show or some data that I brought up. Any kind of podcast, anything that furthers me in what I'm doing or my health and everything. When I'm working out, when I'm washing dishes, when I'm cleaning up, stuff like that, that's when I multitask. But if there is a situation where I'm training and I'm trying to watch a show, I find myself just getting distracted big time. So I can't do both. A lot of people can't do both. And they say if you multitask on too many things in general, you're not going to get anything done. You do 10% here, 10% here, 10% here, but 100% of nothing's getting done. So be very careful with multitasking. Really good one. Next one's procrastination. Let's go. That's a big time enemy of most of us, if not all of us. No matter who you see, what positions they're in, unless they're a madman, which in more cases than not, you're only going to find that in like the highest 1% of hyper workers. People are going to procrastinate, man. You're going to find things. You're going to be nervous, so you procrastinate. You're going to put it off because you're being lazy. But trust me, just like they said in this video, if you dedicate 5 minutes to it, you'll find yourself setting a timer, not even setting a timer. If you dedicate 5 minutes to it, you'll find that once you get into it, you don't want to stop. It might be it might lead up to 30 minutes. So procrastination, that's a big one. And that used to be a huge one for me. So now I do my absolute best to keep it together. The next one's going to be complaining. Let's do it.
Complaining may seem harmless, but over time, it will train your brain to seek out the negative side of everything. Not only does it affect you and your own internal energy and way of thinking, but it affects those around you. No one likes being around the negative person who just complains about everything. Wear a rubber band on your wrist for a week. Each time you complain, snap it. Drop a 100 if you read this far. This shows you are part of the 0.01% who who actually finish what they start.
Hey.
If you are serious about changing your life, then make sure to join our movement by leaving us a follow.
That's awesome. Yeah, make sure you follow the superior man. They know what they're talking about. That last one that's a doozy, complaining. Because when you're complaining, you're spending so much time letting people or things live rent-free in your head that you're not getting anything done yourself. And like they said, if you finish this video or you got this far, you're a part of the 0.001% that actually finishes what they start. Guys, thank you for coming this far, man. If you made it this far through the video, I appreciate you. Want to do more reactions like this, man, and work on them through the weeks. This is fun. I like stuff like this. I was told to do some reaction stuff a while back, and they was like, "You be good at it, man. You got good commentary." I was like, "Well, we'll let the people speak on that." But overall, thank you so much for your time. If you love this content, let me know in the comments. Hit that thanks if you appreciate and support what I'm doing with this channel. I have more band videos, all that coming, but I'm not one-dimensional, guys. I push across the board. As long as it relates back to health and fitness, I'm talking about it. I'm going to talk about it each time. So you guys have a great day. Hit me up in the future. You know where I am. Check me out on Khpfitnessandtraining.com. And man, I'll be here. It's not where you train, it's how you train. Talk to you guys soon.